And then finally, the last section that I'm going to demonstrate with these data set, or with this data set, is the Gantt chart, or the timeline, or visualizing timeline information in a Gantt chart format. So you bring up the Gantt chart, and it is going to ask you to add dates. So most people have single dates in their data set. So here we'll have the contact date, or the date at which an interview is conducted. As soon as you select that date, it puts a little line down that corresponds to that date. And then you can change that color or the transparency. So here we'll make it blue. And you can play with the transparency up or down. If you ultimately, a Gantt chart is most commonly used in project management to look at the development of a particular project over time, but we found it useful to look at overlaps of period of time information. So, for example, if person A was incarcerated at a location at the same time as person B, we could visually show that on this Gantt chart map very easily, where it would be difficult to see that by just looking at the dates in a spreadsheet format. In addition to that, in the tuberculosis realm, they have concepts of infectious and exposure periods that need to overlap for a potential transmission link to be real. So here we've created fake data that represents infectious and exposure periods. So I'm going to pick the start date of the infectious period, and then the end date of the infectious period. And you can see that period is now rendered on screen as kind of a horizontal line. We can again change what that color looks like, and we can add additional dates. So here we might want to layer on the exposure period, start and end, and then we'll leave that colored black. So this allows you to get kind of a timeline view of a particular cluster or a particular outbreak. And we do plan to build out and continue to build out functionality here. Ideally, we would like you to be able to select a particular range and have that selection propagate back over to the 2D network, so that you could say, I want to select all individuals from here to here, and have that propagate over in the 2D network. And so that's kind of an example of additional future roadmap of development.